Most people think dating after 50 becomes harder because attraction fades. It doesn't. What actually disappears is people's tolerance for emotional confusion. And that changes the entire dating landscape, because by midlife, attraction is no longer built on excitement alone. It is built on emotional safety. You can see it everywhere now. Women walking away from relationships that look perfectly fine on the outside, men quietly admitting they are exhausted by modern dating. People losing interest the second mixed signals appear, and underneath all of it is one uncomfortable truth. Most people entering midlife dating are still using relationship habits that only worked when they were 25. But at 50, people read behavior very differently. A delayed text means something, inconsistency means something, emotional distance means something, because experience changes the way people interpret energy. A woman in her 50s can usually sense emotional instability within minutes now, and men feel it too. A secure man is not looking for chaos anymore either. He is not interested in emotional guessing games, constant tension, or feeling like he has to earn basic warmth. Both sides are tired, not weak. Tired. Tired of emotional immaturity. Tired of people pretending to want connection while behaving in ways that destroy it. And maybe that is why dating after 50 feels so strange to so many people. Because what people want now is completely different from what they wanted earlier in life. In your 20s, attraction is often driven by excitement, chemistry, intensity, and unpredictability. But later in life, peace starts becoming attractive, and that shift catches many people off guard. You start noticing different things: how someone handles stress, how they speak when they are frustrated, whether they create calm or confusion, whether you feel emotionally safe around them. That becomes the real attraction. I remember hearing a woman in her late 50s describe a man she had recently dated. She said, "He was handsome, successful, intelligent, but every time I left him, I felt emotionally drained." That sentence stayed with me, because younger versions of ourselves often ignore that feeling. Older versions do not. Midlife dating becomes far more emotional than people realize. Not more superficial, but more emotional. People become incredibly sensitive to energy later in life. A man notices when a woman constantly tests him emotionally. A woman notices when a man becomes defensive, avoidant, or emotionally unavailable. And the interesting part is, many people are not even consciously aware they are doing it. They simply repeat emotional survival patterns they learned years ago. And this is exactly where so many promising relationships quietly collapse. Not because two people lack attraction, because neither person feels emotionally safe enough to relax. That word matters now. Relax. People over 50 are no longer looking for emotional roller coasters. They are looking for someone they can exhale around, someone who feels steady, predictable, emotionally grounded, and strangely enough, that has become rare. Modern dating has trained people to chase stimulation instead of stability, because intensity is often mistaken for a connection. Fast attraction, fast chemistry, fast attachment. But emotionally healthy adults move more slowly. They pay attention slowly. They watch patterns carefully. They notice consistency, because consistency reveals character faster than words ever do. And this is where many people unknowingly sabotage themselves. They think attraction comes from impressing someone. It usually does not, especially later in life. Real attraction often comes from how emotionally safe someone feels to be around. Can this person communicate calmly? Can they handle disagreement without punishment or withdrawal? Can they apologize? Can they stay emotionally steady under pressure? Those things become incredibly attractive after 50. More attractive than charm, more attractive than appearance, more attractive than status. Because after enough life experience, people stop asking, "Are they exciting?" and start asking, "Do they bring peace into my life?" That question changes everything. Especially for women. Many women entering this stage of life have spent decades carrying emotional labor, managing households, managing tension, managing everybody else's emotional needs. And eventually many reach a point where they simply cannot tolerate emotionally draining relationships anymore. You can see it happening everywhere now. Women protecting their peace differently, leaving faster, pulling back earlier, becoming more selective about energy. And honestly, a lot of men are emotionally exhausted too. Many men quietly admit they are afraid of choosing wrong again, afraid of more emotional chaos, more financial damage, more conflict, so both sides enter dating carrying caution. Not because they are damaged, because experience changed them. And maybe that is why authenticity matters so much more later in life. People can sense performance now, overselling, trying too hard, pretending to be endlessly confident, pretending to have it all together. Midlife attraction is strangely different. It often grows through honesty instead, through emotional steadiness, through small, consistent behavior, a returned call, a calm conversation, feeling heard, feeling considered, feeling emotionally safe. And there is another shift happening that many people still struggle to understand. Independence becomes deeply important later in life. Many people over 50 have built lives they genuinely enjoy, their routines, their friendships, their hobbies, their freedom. And the moment dating starts feeling emotionally suffocating, they pull away. Quickly, because healthy midlife relationships are usually not built on dependency anymore. They are built on choice. Two people with full lives choosing each other, not needing each other to survive emotionally. That creates a completely different kind of relationship dynamic. Less possession, less control, less emotional panic, more space, more trust, more respect. And ironically, that freedom often creates stronger connection. Because people relax when they feel emotionally trusted, not controlled. And perhaps that is the biggest misunderstanding about dating after 50. People think attraction fades with age, but what actually happens is attraction matures. People stop chasing emotional intensity and start valuing emotional stability. They stop looking for perfection and start looking for peace, because eventually the most attractive person in the room is not always the loudest or the most impressive. It is usually the person who feels emotionally safe to be around, the person who makes life feel calmer instead of harder. And maybe that is why some people finally find real love later in life. Not because they lowered their standards, because they finally understood what truly matters. If this conversation resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What matters most to you now in relationships that did not matter nearly as much when you were younger? And if you enjoy these deeper conversations around midlife relationships, emotional well-being, and modern connection, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next conversation. And as always, take care of yourself.